our home has come under attack.
Who would do this?
Luke.
Turns out you're not the only half-blood who's hard to kill.
The only thing that has the power to save our home is the Golden Fleece. It's in the Sea of Monsters, what the humans called the Bermuda Triangle. A quest for only our finest heroes.
This is a bad idea.
You don't even know what I was going to say.
You were going to say that you're going after the fleece.
Actually, he was going to say we were.
Percy Jackson in the Sea of Monsters. I've always been biased against Percy Jackson for some reason.
Why? Is it because he sounds like a whitesploitation character?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's it, because Percy's an old punk-ass name. That's why.
Yeah, it's like some little British effete guy, you know. Oh, Percy.
Percy, yeah. Percy was,
a strong
Percy was
black man name.
That is. There you go. But
Is
it? No, it's not.
Except for Andrew Jackson.
Have you ever seen Uptown Saturday Night? Like I'm Little Something and I'm Big Percy.
Well, see, that's different. That's Big Percy.
Yeah, big,
Not just Percy.
There ain't no big in
Percy.
front of this. Yeah.
Yeah, Percy's that kid in the neighborhood whose mother was overprotective and Percy, come in before you catch cold. You know, I don't.
Coming, mother.
It's this little nerdy Percy who leaves in the middle of a race to help someone.
For his piano lessons or something, you know. Percy, come on in for mother's piano lessons.
You'll catch a cold. Don't forget your coat.
To be the son of a god, though, was it son of Poseidon?
Poseidon.
Yeah, I mean,
demigod.
Percy's short for Perseus.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's half god and then half human, because the gods, as we all know, like to get some whenever they can. I mean, you're a god. Fuck it. You know, you're walking around. There's a Scarlett Johansson. You're like, hey, baby, I'm a god. Let's go.
Yeah.
Were you saying Black Widow had an affair with Thor?
I might be saying that.
Yeah, there you go.
Percy's a mutt. Yeah.
Every now and then they like to slum it and come down here and fuck a human, you know?
And ever so often is like every other day.
Yeah, and the only way they fuck each other is fuck each other over, it appears like, because the gods just are dicks to each other.
They're just dicks in general.
And it's funny, when they come down to have sex, you think they use more Trojans because they're gods.
Wow. Oh, Cyrus, when did you turn black?
I know.
You know you opened Pandora's box.
You forgot your trademark waka waka waka.
Get used to it. I'll be here all night.
It feels more like an after-school special where it's like, you see, Cyrus? You see?
Yeah. See your ways now? Like, you know what, man? I'll put it this way. If Harry Potter is a classic piece of music, is a classic song that will ever be remembered throughout time,
Says you.
Percy Jackson is going
Casio
to be
keyboard equivalent.
Yeah, he's like a forgettable pop song.
The
Well, you know what?
elevator music.
I give you a better analogy. At least, like, as far as the books go, if Harry Potter is Pulp Fiction, Percy Jackson is 2 Days in the Valley. It's like, hey, it's not as good,
And that's better than that?
but no, but it's like, okay, it's still a good. It's still
I'm going
a
to
good
say it
movie.
is just to piss you off. You seem so upset by that.
I'm hurt. Yeah, why are you upset? No, it's one of those movies you think back, you go like, well, it was good. It's not as revered, it's not as remembered. But of all those imitators, it was the best of them.
That being said, 2 Days in the Valley, yeah, you're right. It was one of the best of the imitators. But that being said, there was never points in it where I went, oh, God. There are definitely points in this that I do
In the movies,
No.
yes. I'm not talking about the movies. I'm talking about in the books.
As far as this movie is concerned, yeah, just analyzing that title at the end of it, I was like, the perfect title for this is Percy Jackson in the Sea of Who Gives a Shit. Because honestly, I'm like, wow, this is the sequel that nobody was really begging for, yet 20th Century Fox realized that, man, didn't we have a franchise around here besides Star Wars that we really probably should have pushed, especially with all these studios like putting out their franchise? What's something that we kind of put out that people sort of
Well, there's
like?
a small movie that
Percy Jackson.
they have called X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, that
Well,
Fox has.
that's still kind of small.
I like the way you try to think of where that shit to. Well, that's
I think Wolverine made a shitload of money.
It's funny because X-Men seemed big until the Avengers came out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, X-Men, you're so adorable.
Yeah,
Get over
you're,
here.
you're trying to make a comeback. Don't call it a comeback, people. Please. Yeah, don't call it a comeback. Yeah. But with this, I'm like, man, this is something really nobody wanted. And after watching the film, it's like, wow, it seemed like the director and the writers really didn't. Like, it seemed like they were given a job just to get a product out there, to put it out in the market. And because that's how it felt like. It felt, it felt like a studio film.
I would beg to differ in as much as with the first one, I was just like, wow, you guys really dropped the ball on this great material you had. But this one, I feel like this new director, who is a god himself, his name is Thor. directed a movie about gods.
You have Thor Frudenthal.
It's almost like he said, like, all right, like
from
he
this fucking
saw
world.
Prisoner of Azkaban, and it's like, I'm inspired. I want to do something like this. Maybe go off book and just make it more personal. And he tried. The talent's not really there.
No.
The resources aren't there.
No.
I mean, even like there's a scene in this movie with the taxi cab and three witches that's like, wow, that is so stolen out of Prisoner of Azkaban when Harry Potter gets on that double-decker
Nowhere
bus.
near as good.
Well, you know,
No, it's not nowhere near as good. And as far as being in the book, that's like, that scene's pretty much not even in there.
But see, that's the problem with this movie right there, and that scene kind of summed up some of the being that's the worst scene in the movie. And I'll elaborate on that in a little while. But in this film, you have Percy returning, who's played by Logan Lerman. And they're at a training camp, as we saw in the first movie.
Camp Half-Blood.
It's the only place that half-bloods can live unmolested in the world.
There you go.
Well, except for Dionysus is one of the counselors. So
I'm sorry,
there's some
There's a
molestation
little
going on.
molestation going on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought he was at a Renaissance fair. I didn't think anything about any demigod bullshit.
But their camp is threatened, and to save it, they got to go get the Golden Fleece. And Percy volunteers to do it. Now, first they say, Percy, don't worry about it. You fucking up all the time. So we'll get the what's her name, Clarice, who's a daughter of the god of war, Ares, who's
kind of a bitch.
He was kind of a big, played by Levin Rambin. But then they say, all right, you know what? Percy says, man, they think I'm a fuck up. I'm gonna prove them.
We got to do this, you guys.
Exactly.
What do you mean by we, Kimosabi?
Yeah, he gets his friends. He gets Annabeth, who is the daughter of Athena, and then he gets his black man with goat legs over here playing.
He's got Grover
Grover the Satyr.
The Satyr.
And, played by Brandon T. Jackson, and he says, guys, we can do this. We can prove ourselves at this point. And you know what, man? I'm gonna give the movie credit for this.
You're missing someone.
Well, who am I missing?
You miss. He gets to meet his half brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The
Cyclops.
He gets to meet who?
Tyson. Tyson's named the character. I don't know the actor.
Yeah, he has a brother who's a Cyclops, and Cyclops, they're like the minorities of the God world, in the demigod world, because the Cyclops are the ones that they're known as being shitty and evil and killing people. So when he shows up, everybody's like, get him on out of here.
And even though he's the nicest, most Gomer Pyle Cyclops there is, even Annabeth is just like, fuck that guy.
Fuck him in his one eye.
It's more like Encino Man than he is like a regular Cyclops.
I know, he's the Pauly Shore of Cyclops.
Yeah.
He's like, can I bring you a flower? No, you can go suck a dick.
Sit there for a poke in your one eye. Yeah, Douglas Smith is the kid that plays him. Who he is? He's almost so nice. He's retarded. Hey, Percy.
He's kind of retarded.
You got a brother. Hey, Percy.
It's not just nice. This guy would have been on the short bus.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The short Valkyrie.
Always in the
Steve.
friend zone with him.
Tyson, you making me look bad. But
Is this your brother? No.
Oh, no.
Why is he wearing a football helmet?
Stop lying, Percy. But I give the movie credit because looking at the budget, the movie cost $90 million. Now, there are effects throughout this whole film, and I think that they look amazing.
For real?
What?
Amazing is
Are you
not
serious?
a word I would use at
I
all.
will say, man, I think there's some parts in the movie where they actually do a good job.
There
Now,
are some moments that they obviously spend a lot more time with others, like the hippogriff, or was it the hippo something? The seahorse, basically.
Yeah.
I thought looked terrific. I think they did a great job.
I
with
thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I thought it looked better than most everything else.
Yeah,
in
but
there.
like a lot of the other stuff, like the actual Cyclops in there was just like, okay, you just reconfigured some shit from another movie.
I've seen episodes of Gumby look far more.
oh, you stop
cooler
it!
than
You
this.
stop that! Don't you dare insult Gumby like that!
that mechanical bull they brought out, I was like, I think I've seen episodes of Hercules that look better than this.
I think had some leftover CG from Hellboy 2.
Left over, like on the floor left over.
See, I'm just gonna say there's certain things that I like in it. I actually like that scene with the bull. I mean, but this is, I don't know, man. This is the thing that really irritated me about this is that the dialogue, the acting, is stuff that you would see on a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
I mean, because the characters they do these. They have the dialogue and the same kind of subplots that you see on those kind of shows. Hey, you know, like the bully, that girl Clarice is always coming in. Hey, Percy, you're gonna fuck up today, Percy. And I'm just like,
It's funny because she's nicer in this movie than she is in the book.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right, though. It's just all so trite, and it doesn't help the fact that the dialogue is written terribly.
It's awful.
Most
It
of
is
it. I mean,
terrible.
it's especially more with the kids, which is the problem. Some of the other characters that come in the, let's face it, collection of set pieces that make up this
Yeah.
film, because it's not really like a plot per se. It's
Nah,
just a whole
it's-
bunch of skits.
you're right.
I know.
True. And on those skits, I thought Nathan Fillion was great.
Was the funniest part
Yeah.
about the whole thing as Hermes, and I'm not just saying that because there's an actual direct joke about Firefly in the movie. I was like, yes!
I knew
I'm
they had
glad
you
I
with
didn't
that.
catch that because I would have walked the
yeah.
fuck out of the theater.
Right over my head. But you know what? A lot of the adults are good, and they're the ones that lift up certain parts of the scene. Nathan Fillion as Hermes, and he's one of the scenes that kind of worked because he was good. But that's the thing about the movie that Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
I thought
he's
was
actually
good.
very funny.
That's Dionysus. Yeah, I always thought. I mean, he was. Out of the things that,
Killing me,
out of
guys.
all the comic timing in the movie that they tried to do, his worked. The way he kept. I mean, because they got some ongoing jokes in this movie, some running jokes that just aren't that funny. But when he always was fucking up. I started to say Harry when he's fucking up. Percy's name. I thought that was kind of funny. And the guy's an asshole. Like, he just doesn't care about these kids.
I don't think he didn't care about the kids. He didn't care about the script. He didn't care about the camera. He didn't care about nothing in this
I like the
goddamn
fact that,
movie.
yeah, he is kind of a dick, but at the same time, he does his job, and he's punished every day for being a dick by Zeus, because he's the god of wine, and Zeus is pissed at him. So every time he tries to open a bottle of wine, just water comes out. And
Yeah.
you're like, all right, you get to be a little bit of a dick.
and that's funny, But see, the one thing that worked for me with Nathan Fillion is that is the one joke where they tried to connect these gods to the modern world, and I'm not going to tell you what he does. I mean, you can actually kind of see it in the trailer. But if this is the best scene that you get in the movie, please don't let me spoil that for you. But they do a lot of things where they try to modernize things, and a lot of the times it just come off as an eye roll. I mean, that scene that you're talking about, there's, we have the three witches, the three blind witches who are driving they're driving a cab here in the movie, and they're bickering, and their lines is so horrible, right down to one of the witches actually telling her sister, "Oh, girl, I know you didn't."
I know.
I was like,
wow, even Will Smith doesn't use that old slang.
Will Smith is expecting a check.
Will
from
Smith
that.
stood up and said, "Oh, hell no."
Oh no, you didn't.
That seems like the core problem with a lot of the humor in this film, and just the tone of it, is that they're like writing it to teenagers who were teenagers in 1995.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, kids still drink Mountain Dew and watch extreme sports all the time. Right? And it really feels like this is like just been sitting on a shelf this whole time.
You know what?
It does.
You're right.
The film just looking at it, the film looked kind of grainy at parts where it did feel like, man, this has sat on the shelf, because I was like, wow, it's amazing how these kids. I was expecting these kids to all look like adults at this point, because it's been a long time.
I was too. It's
Yeah.
amazing how little the kids, we say them kids, they are probably all 25 or older.
Yeah.
How little they've aged. Because I was like, the idea of bringing this back with the original cast, I was like, how are you going to do that?
Yeah,
It's
how,
like,
how do you explain
they all
the
look the
growth
same.
spurt? Yeah,
See,
the
and
growth
we
spurts
just
that are
saw
going on.
Alexandra Daddario in the Texas Chainsaw reboot, which was terrible, but she was fucking hot and sexy in it. Here
Fuck
she
yeah.
looks like a teenager again. I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening?
That was her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
That's
was
the
her.
same chick.
Yeah, that's the same one.
crazy.
Those glowing
Yeah.
blue eyes.
Yeah.
Well, look at Brandon T. Jackson. Sometimes he's playing like a 35-year-old man.
I mean,
the next he's a teenager.
Brandon T. Jackson started like Samuel Jackson.
I mean, and I know black don't crack, but come on, bro.
No, there's some fountain of youth going on
Something
in
fucking
Hollywood
going on.
somewhere or another,
Hey,
but yeah.
Like I said, those CG effects are incredible, man. You didn't even notice.
Because right afterwards, and then they're like, "Oh, first movie didn't make all that much money." Well,
Man,
we'll wait and see if we find 10 spots.
You know what? I got to agree with you on that, because the movie did is open up like an extreme sports Mountain Dew commercial. They're on like this extreme obstacle course, and they're playing a rock song that sounds like it's from 1995.
Yeah.
Percy, go
And there's
Percy!
even like surfing sequences, and then just the way people talk, like the thing with the witches. I mean, I was
Yeah.
really waiting for at one point they're getting ready to tackle a bad guy. Go, all right, guys, it's time to get jiggy with this. It's just that kind of shit they throw in all the way through it that you're like, who the fuck were responds to this anymore. How
Who's
long
this
ago
made
was
for?
this
That's what I don't get.
And
Yeah.
the sad part is there are genuine funny parts in here. There are points when the effects are actually, even when they're not great, they're creatively put together. I don't know how much of that comes from the books and how much from this director's vision for it, but there's certainly enough here to keep you mildly diverted.
I don't know, man. You guys are giving a lot of compliments to this film, and I just don't see any of it. I mean, I sitting there, I was like, please do something, because this was a movie where I felt like, I need to walk out, is because this honestly shouldn't have been seen by anyone. It should have still stayed on the shelf. This is a movie that should not have been made. I'm sure kids that are reading these books are dying to go see it. But you know what? Fuck them. They had their chance and they blew it. They didn't go see the first one. It had too
They did
long
go
of
see
a
the
gap.
first one. That's why I got a second one.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
He just
No, they
made
didn't.
this up.
I know, he's just making up history.
I'm telling you right now, they didn't see it. I don't care. I don't care who says what. I don't care what CNN told you. But I mean, the thing is that everything felt so disconnected. Even the chemistry that they were trying to rebuild, I guess, with these characters. Where I'm like, the one thing I remember about the last one is like they did seem to have some kind of camaraderie. All these kids. With this one, it seemed like everyone was trying to go off and do their own thing. To where I was like, okay, what is the whole point of this story? It's like, how come you guys aren't working together to solve this problem? So many people being assholes to each other, especially to the Cyclops guy. I'm like, wow. Being a kid, seeing these characters, these heroes react to this one guy, I'm like, I don't see what's likable about them.
Well, they had a reason to do that.
Yeah,
Even
I feel like
Percy.
you wouldn't actually watch this movie because everything you just said was pretty much explained.
No,
throughout
that's
the thing.
bullshit. No, it was not. That was not explained. Even Percy was just like, we'll grow to like him at the end of the movie. But no, I didn't. I did not feel any kind of chemistry. I did not give two shits about this story. I'm sorry, Leon. I know it's your favorite fucking book, but I just did not care for it.
Well, I mean, I don't
for
like
it.
it as much as the Smurfs or anything, but
Believe me,
I'm sure if
Smurf is a tour de force.
CGI Gargamel was in there, you'd be loving it.
That's what this movie was missing, a fucking Gargamel.
Zaria was like cackling somewhere. It goes with the full price.
I don't know, man. I got to side with them over there. I think
The
there's
special effects suck, Corey, all right? They stink.
I don't know,
They're
man.
terrible.
A mixed bag.
Yeah.
Mixed the shit.
Yeah, I think that you're being overly harsh on
No, I'm not.
I got to say this because that's what you said to Leon when he was cussing out the Smurfs. You're like, man, I think you're being too hard on this. I think you're being too
That's
hard
Leon.
on this,
Don't you know that he is not subject to the same rules?
No, I am not subject to any of
He
this.
has the teacher's pass to be hyperbolic.
I know. I usually save you for last, but I mean, you just go ahead and give your bullshit now. I mean, that's where this is going.
Oh, fuck this movie.
Oh, damn.
Oh, really? It's like
really?
that much?
No, it gets a bullshit. No.
Okay.
All right.
Talking to you guys makes me want to give it a big fuck you.
Well, you're going to hate what I have to say right now.
Oh, matinee?
Yeah.
No,
No,
of
of course not. No, man. I'm just being fair. Like I said, there are things to cherry pick here that are good, but it doesn't make for a whole decent film. I mean, it just makes for a mediocre film. Like I said, it looks like a Nickelodeon TV show. Therefore, wait for it to be a TV show. Watch it on television. I think it's a rental.
I probably liked it a little bit better than you because I saw places where I thought it improved or did things better than it did the last time, enough to where, like, all right, you told you stayed tighter on the story. It's mixed some things up. It's changed some things, but I could see where they could go with another one. There were moments here and there. Every time I was just about to give up on it, there'd be a little something. It's not great. It's a mess. And it is, so much of it is TV quality. But I don't know. I liked it a little bit more than that. I give it a high rental.
Yeah, everything Leon just said. It's pretty much a high rental. It is entertaining for what it is, as long as you're not expecting a whole hell of a lot.
Oh, please don't. With a movie entitled Sea of Monsters, there's not a fucking Sea of Monsters anywhere.
It's Charybdis. What?
She guards the Sea of Monsters.
Hold on!
There's
one. Yeah.
monster. And
Monsters.
There were actually several
Monsters,
And
plural.
let's not forget about
In the sea?
the
Yes.
thing from Return of the Jedi
Bullshit.
was in there too. His brother.
Yeah, that's right.
The Sarlacc pit. In the
Feel
ocean.
sorry for his brother. Trying to get work.
Why didn't Boba Fett help him out? I kept wondering.
Well,
Come on.
Okay, I don't.
now I know what the term blind fury means because you were so furious you missed half this movie, man. Seriously.
No, I saw it. I wish
He's like,
I wish
"Man,
I could have
went
missed
to see
fucking half
Percy
of this
Jackson.
movie.
They didn't even know Percy Jackson in this movie.
What was Percy? He wasn't even in the movie.
There's a lot of bullshit is what's in this movie.
That was awesome.
Excuse me, we're looking for Hermes.
Little insulted you didn't recognize me.
We really need your help, and we don't have a lot of time.
You twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the four corners of the world. What? No, not in here. Not in here.
Tell me those aren't sharks.
Those aren't sharks.